Welcome to Fishin Magician TV with Dave Graybill. Brought to you by Hooked on Toys, Town Ford, Lyle's Boats, Grand Coulee Dam Area Chamber of Commerce, Coulee Playland, Battery Systems, Bobfile Boats and Motors, Lake Pateros Inn, and Gaboon Productions.
Perch bite. Okay, this is what we're looking for. That's a nice representative fish lake perch right there. Well, this morning, Eric Granstrom and I traveled not that far from my hometown in Leavenworth to Fish Lake, which is near Lake Wenatchee. It's only 20 miles from my driveway to this beautiful lake that is at about 2,200 feet. It gets a nice cap of ice in the winter, but today, in late July, mid-July, we're looking at temperatures of about 90 degrees. So it's a very popular spot for families to come and fish. Fish Lake has a great reputation as a good, consistently productive trout lake. A lot of the rainbow up here are, 10 to 12 inches, but there's always the chance of hooking a triploid that are planted here at intervals that can be 4 to 6 or even 8 pounds. So that's an exciting aspect of fishing here. Our target today is yellow perch. Yellow perch are very popular also here, and Fish Lake has one of the best populations of any lake in our region. They don't get huge. They're often average around 9 inches, which is plenty big enough to fillet for a great perch feed. And they're scattered throughout the lake. Not far from the Cove Resort is a good place to start looking for yellow perch. And today we're going to take advantage of some of the technology that I have available on my Kingfisher boat, which means a Lowrance depth sounder that's going to help us spot schools of perch. And then I'm going to use my bow mount electric and put that down. That Minn Kota, coupled with the iPilot, allows me to go into anchor mode. So when I spot a nice ball of perch, I go into anchor mode. Excuse me, let me back up. First, what I'm going to do is throw out a marker. And that's a very handy way when I immediately spot something on my screen that looks like a ball of perch. I throw my marker out, then I go back to that with my bow mount electric, and I can stay right on it by taking advantage of the anchor mode that's part of the Minn Kota iPilot system. So that's the plan. Hopefully we'll find some good batches of perch here today and get enough for a nice perch feed tonight. Well, Eric, the plan is, as I mentioned to you earlier, is to come out here on Fish Lake. Typically this part of the lake, we're just around the corner from the Cove Resort, seems to be a good area for perch, to find schools of perch. And we're just going to cruise around out here until my screen lights up with what looks like a good pod of school of perch. And then I have these handy dandy markers that I just throw over the side. And then we'll put the bow mount down, come back to our marker, put our bow mount Minn Kota in anchor mode because it's equipped with the iPilot, and then it just takes over. It will keep us within 5 feet of that spot, and all we need to do is fish. I gathered some periwinkles, spent some time splashing around in the Wenatchee River yesterday, gathered up some periwinkles, and we also have some night crawlers for bait. We should be all set for some good perch fishing here on Fish Lake. Okay. So I'm seeing a pretty good mark on my screen, so I'm going to get this marker out, and it's just a simple thing to do. You toss her out there and it drops to the bottom, and then we know where to go back. We'll just turn the boat around, cruise back to that marker, go into anchor mode, and then we'll get some baits down to the bottom and see if we can get these perch to bite. All right, we're approaching our marker, and here, as you can see, this is my iPilot control. Here's my anchor mode button. And there we go. Now this will keep our boat within 5 feet of that spot. And we'll drift back with the wind, and then it'll catch up and bring us back to that spot. And it'll also record that spot for future purposes. If there was a reef or a rock pile or something that you wanted to know in the future how to get to it, it would record that and take the boat right to it. Pretty incredible device. Well, one of the nice things about perch fishing is it isn't terribly complicated. You can take it as far as you like, just like any other form of fishing. But for the easiest way to really get set up for perch is just a good old spinning rod. This probably has 8-pound or 10-pound test on it. What I do is I start with 2 split shot. These are number 3, right on the very end of the line. What this does, it gives me enough weight, doesn't take long to get to the bottom, and if I should hang up on something, those will just slip off the end of the line and you won't lose the rest of your gear. The rest of that gear includes, again, this is just the simplest way to rig. I just do an overhand loop knot in my main line to a hook. Now the one thing I want to say, you don't have to use really expensive hooks, and I'd say you want to use about a size 8. That's big enough for most perch to take. The one that's big enough to keep to take, that's for sure. And then just loop a snelled leader through that. Now this particular leader, these are Eagle Claw laser sharp hooks, not necessarily for the quality of the hook, but I picked them because they have a nice heavy leader. And what that does, it helps keep the line away from your main line when it's sitting on the bottom. It's just stiff enough that it'll keep some distance so that when you get down there, it's not going to wrap around your main line so readily. That's one of the things I like, a nice stiff leader. And all I've done here to transport a rig that's already set up, I just find these little corks at a craft shop and pop them on there to keep the hooks from sticking in the rest of your gear while you're traveling. And then what I did, you want to make your first hook high enough so it's not going to tangle with your sinkers, and then the next one just high enough so it stays away from your second hook. And that way you're running, and it's not unusual when you really get on the perch to catch 2 at a time. So that's the basic rig for perch fishing. Very simple, and as I say, there's some other ways you can do that, but I'll tell you what, day in, day out, that's just a simple way to get fishing for perch.
Smile, it makes me shout, let's go!
When you're fishing at Banks Lake, Lake Roosevelt, even Rufus Woods, the place to stay is at Coulee Playland in Electric City. They have camping and RV hookups right on the water. There's a launch with fuel and one of the best tackle shops in the area. You can get your state and tribal fishing licenses right there. Coulee Playland has been the friendly place to stay for fishermen for decades, and if you haven't camped there yet, you'll learn why. Call for reservations at 509-633-2657. Be sure to visit their website at couleeplayland.com.
Your town Ford is kicking off the season with the best deals of the year. It's the Built Ford Tough Truck event. Great power and amazing fuel economy means no compromises. And that's what you get in a truck built Ford Tough. Like the Ford F-150 with a powerful and efficient EcoBoost engine. The power you want and the economy you need. Or Ford Super Duty with its amazing 6.7-liter Power Stroke turbo diesel. If you're looking for power, payload, towing economy, your town Ford's got the truck for you. Head to your town Ford in East Wenatchee.
Now, what has proven to be one of the most effective baits for perch here or any other lake that has perch in it are periwinkles. And what I did yesterday is I just spent some time in the Wenatchee River turning over rocks, and periwinkle is essentially a caddisfly. And what they do is they build their little homes out of the gravel and sand that's on the bottom and attach themselves to the rocks until they're ready to hatch and leave. And that's what the little bug looks like inside. You just have to peel the shell off and ease that guy out of there. And that is perch candy right there. And what we'll do is we'll get these on our hooks, slide them down to in the vicinity of that perch ball we found, see if we can get some action.
There we go.
Well, what do you know? My goodness, here I wasn't paying attention. Turned my back on this rod and this guy attacked, and I wasn't even aware of it. How about that? There's our first perch here at Fish Lake. That wasn't down very long, and I think this guy will probably either go back or probably be perch bait, as a matter of fact. So,
Dave, what is the regulations of perch? I know it changes per body of water you go to.
that's right. And Fish Lake particular has a new rule. The department several years ago, on some of the more popular waters, it's now a 25 fish limit. There were some serious abuses in terms of the harvest of these fish, not just perch, but bluegill and some other spiny rays, and so now there's a cap, and there's a 25 fish limit on perch here at Fish Lake. Oh, even saved my guess I better send that back down there. I was about ready to pull anchor.
Even though, Dave, that was a small one, you mentioned on the screen we're looking for those perch balls. So where there's one, there's more?
Typically that's the case, yeah, so that's encouraging. I was about ready to maybe shift our position because I hadn't had a bite or my screen was clear, but you know, a lot of times they're pretty tight, so even though I'm not seeing it off the transom, our marker is off the bow, and so we're probably, obviously, still close to some fish. So we're going to give this spot a little bit longer. All right. Now remember that nice mark we got, that's being picked up off our transom, where our transducer is. Throw that bait right there. bite. Okay, this is what we're looking for. That's a nice representative Fish Lake perch right there. He's a chunky one. You know, that's, you know, probably 8 or 9 inch fish. That will definitely give you a couple of nice fillets. That one's going in the box for sure.
Fishing in our region has never been better, and if you aren't equipped for it, you're missing out. Bob File Boats and Motors has a great lineup of boats made for fishing in our region, like Kingfisher, Smokercraft, and Alumaweld, and they can find one to fit any fishing style or budget. They have all the accessories too, like electronics from Lowrance. They can take care of you from stem to stern. Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee.
Bob File's gonna make you smile.
Hooked on Toys!
For many anglers, this is the most exciting season of the year. Big summer run salmon and huge numbers of sockeye are surging up the Columbia. If you want to make the most of this season, better get to Hooked on Toys. No one has more gear for salmon season than Hooked on Toys, and a staff that knows where and how to use it. Get to Hooked on Toys at 1444 North Wenatchee Avenue, and be sure to visit them on the web at hookedontoys.com.
Hooked on Toys!
Gaboon Productions LLC is a full-service video production company right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Gaboon is a term coined by my grandfather, commercial fishing in Alaska. It's when a bunch of fish hit your net all at the same time. We capture life as you see it, from filming those special moments to catching something big. Gaboon Productions LLC can record it, edit it, and save it for you forever. We do weddings, theater productions, concerts, reunions, commercials, and more. Go to GaboonProductions.com on the web, check us out on Facebook and on YouTube. Gaboon Productions LLC, the little video company capturing your big moments.
The whole time he's there.
Yeah.
And,
There
it seems to be the spot out there, doesn't it? And they're all just cookie cutter. There's another one going in the box. Just right.
There we go.
Oh! Alright. One Robert Keith. Alright. Chop. Perfect. Good. There's another bugger. We're on to him. Ho-ho! There's a drag thing on that one. Oh boy. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Let's go. You know, Fish Lake is certainly one of my favorite places to come to fish for perch. It's only 20 miles from my house, but there are a lot of Great Lakes that have perch in them here in Central Washington. Some of the biggest perch I've ever seen taken on a consistent basis is at Moses Lake. We were down there recently fishing for walleye and caught one that was at least 14 inches. It was a monster. And that's where they call the perch jumbos. And they get a lot of them. Not only, you know, we got that one in June, but you can also catch them beginning in December, before the ice comes on at Moses Lake. It can be very good for perch fishing. And then through the ice, if we get a cold enough weather at Moses Lake, excellent perch fishing for jumbos of 13 inches and sometimes bigger. One of my other favorite lakes is near Winthrop, just below, within sight of Sun Mountain, is Pateros Lake.
and I've had great days perch fishing up there, averaging 11 inches. Very nice perch that come out of that one in the wintertime. Blue Lake, which is just below Park Lake and above Soap Lake, has a good perch fishery in the fall now. It closes at the end of October, I believe, and fishing right up to when it closes, it can be very good. But check the department's website and check on some of your favorite lakes. Another one up in the Okanagan is called Leader Lake. It has very good perch population. We've caught perch on Rufus Woods. Had very good perch fishing up there as well. So look for one of the, like Terry Rudnick's Guide to Fishing in Washington State, and look at, I think it's cross-referenced by species, for example, and you can find out what lakes have perch in them here in eastern Washington. There's a lot of them. Potholes Reservoir, Soda Lake just below there, some of the other lakes down in the Potholes area also have good populations of perch. They're tons of fun to catch, and boy, everybody's happy at dinner time.
The Evinrude E-Tech. It's a dream come true.
For E-Tech engine sales and service and repair of all boats and motors, call Lyle's Boats and Motors in Kashmir.
Hi, I'm Dave Graybill, the Fishin Magician, and I'm sitting in front of the Lake Pateros Inn. Lake Pateros Inn is one of the most convenient places you can stay if you like to fish for salmon or steelhead on the upper Columbia River. You can moor your boat at the dock, or there are 2 ramps within yards. They have outdoor power so you can charge your electric motor. Rooms are clean and comfortable and very affordable. Everything you need is right here at the Lake Pateros Inn. The goal of Battery Systems is to provide the best products combined with the most efficient service at competitive prices. I've found their people live up to this, so don't buy anything without talking to them. You should make their batteries and accessories your choice to power your vehicles and boats. This is Dave Graybill, and I choose Battery Systems to keep me running onshore and on the water. To find a Battery Systems product expert in a location near you, log on to batterysystems.net. Mr. Granstrom is hooked up now.
Yeah, we found the spot.
It is a pretty good spot, actually.
Nice perch too,
look at that one. Oh my goodness. That's a dandy.
That's the biggest one all day so far.
Absolutely. You got big fish of the day. Darn, let's get some more.
Yeah, I'm liking this. What you got there, Dave?
Well, you know, this will happen occasionally when you're out here. As I said earlier, Fish Lake is famous for nice trout. And here's a good example.
Holy cow, look at that.
Fish Lake rainbow. I mean, that is real typical fish for Fish Lake this time of year. And of course, they're going to feed all through the summer, and this fall they're going to be really nice and big.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we could just as easily have had a triploid on when that rod went over, and that bit the perch meat of all things. So beautiful fish, aren't they? Beautiful color, nice fish. Well, you sure got the hot hand. Not only are you getting all of them now, but you're catching some really nice ones too. Look at that. Now that's a good perch in anybody's book, Eric,
yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's what you want to put a fillet knife to, is a guy like that.
Well, I'll tell you, Dave, like you said, you know, we were moving just a skosh, and just about the time we decided to move, we saw a huge bait ball, or not a bait ball, but a perch ball on the screen. Kind of looks like a bait ball. And we threw them out the back, and we've been doing pretty good ever since.
Not bad. You've had a good day on the lake. You've caught a mess of perch, and you can't wait to get home and fry them up. Well, here's the easiest way to do that. We've experimented, my family, over the years and done a lot of different things. But when it gets down to it, when you've got in some cases 100 or more perch that you've got to deal with before you head home, or when you get home, here is a fast way to do just that. What I have here is an electric knife. These are very inexpensive. I think this was $25, and I've had it for years, and it still works just fine. What you have to do occasionally is replace these blades. They're $7, I think, for a set of blades that fit this unit. I've got blades from 7 inches to 11 inches. And the easiest way to keep your blade sharp is just to buy new ones. They last quite a while. But if you have to replace them, it's pretty easy just to order a new set or get them at your local sporting goods store. In this case, I can plug this unit right into the dash of the Kingfisher boat. Most new boats have that ability. You can plug it right in the dashboard or some other part of the boat that'll run this type of gear. Or I have a portable unit. It's the kind of thing you'd buy to jump start a battery, and it's an emergency unit that you keep charged up at home and then throw in your trunk, and if you get stuck, it'll start your battery and has an emergency light and other things. I found a very stripped down model of that I just pack around to keep charged, and when I need to fillet a perch, even fillet a salmon, I can pack that little unit around and take it right to the boat ramp or anywhere I want to go. It's very handy to have. So let me just show you the quick and easy way to fillet a perch with this electric knife. There's a nice fillet. And then the last step is just to cut along these rib bones and just cut that section out with a sharp knife. And there is your nice chunk of perch ready to go in the pan. Now understand that you do leave a little bit of meat on the other side of this rib cage, but when you're dealing with lots of perch, you can really go through a pile of them this way. Well, Fish Lake, summertime, July and August, that's fun, huh?
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. It's been since, I was telling Dave before we went out here on Fish Lake today, I've been to Fish Lake a lot, but I've caught perch accidentally here. Yeah. Haven't caught perch since I was a kid fishing in Big Lake in western Washington. And I think the biggest thing why we don't catch perch or why we don't fish for perch is bones. It's all my dad ever says. There's too many bones, too many bones. Let's not worry about perch. But you showed me a way to fillet them today, Dave, that I think I'm going to go perch fishing more often. Oh man, it is worth it. You know, it takes a little bit of work to learn how to fillet those fish, get rid of those bones, and man, perch are a treat. They are fabulous eating, and you're going to get to enjoy a meal of fresh perch tonight, Mr. Granstrom. And I tell you, the people up here at the Cove, I want to thank them. They're always so helpful. Let me know what's going on and when. And as I say, July and August are great times to be up here to catch perch. And then also through the ice in the winter is another very popular time. And so if you haven't tried it, I would highly suggest it because the meal is worth every bit of effort. And also fun for kids too. If you want to get kids out fishing, and trout are sometimes hard to locate, although Fish Lake usually have a good chance of catching trout all the time. But you get into some perch, the kids are going to have a lot of fun.
It is fun to catch and even better on the plate. That's perch fishing at Fish Lake.
Thanks for watching Fishin Magician TV with Dave Graybill. Brought to you by Gaboon Productions, Lake Pateros Inn, Bombfile Boats and Motors, Battery Systems, Coulee Playland, Grand Coulee Dam Area Chamber of Commerce, Lyle's Boats, Town Ford, and Hooked on Toys.